Welcome back, friends, and welcome to episode 35. Another Foot Locker drop on a Wednesday morning. Really love getting sneakers in store again. Online, these things are selling out like crazy, but being able to go to store, cop them, amazing. Anyways, we have the Zion Williamson Air Jordan 1 Low OG Voodoo Alternate. And as always, if you're just looking for the lace swaps, by all means, use our bookmarks and zip on over to the lace swap section of the video. Zion plays for New Orleans, so of course this pair has a lot of things that are inspired by the city itself. And it really makes a great Halloween pair, being 2 days away from Halloween. You can see the Nike story here. They talk about the embroidery, the voodoo doll, lots of really cool features. Makes it kind of like a Halloweenish, scary looking design. Of course, this wasn't his first pair. It was his second pair. The original one was in flax and oil green, as you can see here. Very much the same design, just in a different colorway. This one was actually very, very hard to get. So it was great that the Voodoo Alternate, the second version of it, was basically a lot easier to get, made in much higher numbers. Really appreciate that. And of course, the colorway, I like the colorway of the second one better here. It's just the colors and everything. It's just the darker tones. Makes it look a lot better. All right, on to the unboxing. And here we go. Of course, thank you Foot Locker again for having these in store. And I love having more and more drops in store. All right, so we have the box in purple and teal neon green. I guess it's like more neon green. You have the 1985 Air Jordan 1 on. It's just a standard Air Jordan 1 low box. Yeah, great color. It's just these two are matched really well. Official colorway, Regency purple and vapor green. So let's call that vapor green, not neon green or fluorescent green or anything like that. So a little bit of a difference. So what do we have in here? We have some extra laces in gray. There you go. All right, let's put that aside. Okay, opening these things up. Nicely individual wrapped, of course, to protect the materials on it. A lot of suede on this pair of shoes. All right, and here's the other one here. Yeah, lots of paper to wrap to make sure that, it doesn't get wrecked in transport, that suede. All right, what do we have here? We have more laces in black. These look kind of reflective and shiny, so I think they're wax, so we'll take a look at them later. And then another set of laces there in vapor green. So 4 sets in total. All right, and there's your first look at the Voodoo Alternates. All right, so let's start off. I almost forgot. Cardboard shoe trees. Ooh, how I missed these. I'm not a big fan of the paper ones, so nice to have cardboard again. All right, let's take a look. So we will start off with, of course, the outsole. The outsole is in gray, standard Jordan 1 outsole. And the midsole is also in this gray color. It's almost like a little bit of sail on the top section of it, but I think it's just the lighting. And then you have, in that vapor green reverse swoosh on the left shoe, you have canvas material up front and suede on the toe box. Lots of materials here. Look at this. You got more suede on the tongue. You've got Nike Air in vapor green, upside down, so it's just very different. You have canvas over here, thicker canvas. And then you have suede over here on the upper with a black suede swoosh. On the back, you have more canvas, and then you have that little voodoo doll with a button kind of sewn onto there as an eye. And as you wrap around, you have some scratches, some stitching that makes it look like it's been scratched up a little bit. More suede, so you got black swoosh on one side and purple swoosh on the other side, a hairier swoosh, very different materials. And then back here you got canvas again, all the way to the from the lace holes, the eyelets there. All right, and then on the heel you have the Air Jordan logo in vapor green again, upside down. It's not glow in the dark, funny enough. You would think that they would make that glow in the dark, but it's actually not. I give that a try. And then of course you have the rope laces. Very, very cool look to this. And then the insole, you have Voodoo right there. And take that out. There you go. So you got Voodoo and just a felt material in there, and then just your standard insole there. All right, and then underneath you have just your standard kind of like that felt material again, right there. It's that kind of felt material, typical on Jordan 1 lows with your black stitching. Let's get these back. Yeah, lots of awesome materials on this. Like, whew, it's just a huge, awesome mix of materials. And then on the back, you got more suede. Here on the back, it's a thinner tongue. We'll get to that a little bit later. All right, and then some more details here between the canvas and the suede. You got the stitching that looks like this shoe is just kind of really stitched on together. You got stitching on the swoosh. I know the swoosh is kind of stitched on already, but you have that on there. And then here's a good look at that little button for an eye. More of that scratches there on this side, on the medial side here. All right, and then actually let's compare the left and the right shoe. Here's where we'll see a lot of really cool differences, starting with the outside here. So on one side you have that stitching that I was showing you a little bit earlier, and then on the other one you have the stitches where it looks like the scratches. That's kind of on that side here. And then of course this swoosh is facing the right way, where it's reversed on the other shoe. All right, and then you can see over here the different colors. You have the purple on the heel and gray on the other one, so it's a little different. And you can see the eye buttons are a little different too. Let me put them side by side. You can probably see a little bit more clear. There you go. So one's actually gray. It looks almost purple in some lighting, and then one is purple. So just alternate colors between the two shoe. And now there you go. Side by side, you can see the color difference. And then of course the heel, you have gray and purple, so it alternates there. Swoosh is the same over here, and then of course you have one side has the stitches that's stitched on, the other side doesn't. And then the toe cap, one is in purple and one is in gray. So lots of really cool alternating colors between the two shoes. Material pretty much the same, and it just makes it look very unique. Love these left and right shoe looking completely different. All right, let's lace these guys up and see how the rope laces look on this pair here. All right, there's your first look with the rope laces. One thing I did notice here, and yeah, I mentioned that the tongue was a little thinner. If you see here where you put the laces through the tongue, there's no foam padding here. So it's just 2 layers of suede, which makes the tongue a lot thinner than your usual OG. So we'll take a closer look in the comparison. I guess we should start the comparisons now. This is unlike any other pair I've owned, so let's see what we got for comparisons here. So first we'll start with a black toe, low OG, and obviously lots of material differences. Surprisingly, it's pretty soft on the canvas. Like, you know, of course it's buttery soft leather on the black toe there, but the thinner canvas makes it a little bit softer. And then you can see the midsole there. It's the standard low OG midsole. It's not the 85 cut or anything, so it's just standard. And you can see the swoosh size is actually the same as the older low OG style swoosh. It's not the newer style bigger swoosh. So 7 lace holes on that one, and this is the older style of the low OG. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 lace holes. So the design itself it follows the older style low OG and not the typical 2025. Most likely because the original Voodoo has that. All right. So, anyways, going back to here, you can see that it's just 2 pieces of suede. And if we look at this low OG here, you can see. I hope you can see here. You see, there's it's really hard to get. There you go. There's a foam padding and everything there, so it makes that a little bit thicker tongue, a little more comfortable tongue. So you just feel the tongue between a regular low OG versus the Voodoo Alternate here. The Voodoo Alternate is just a flat piece of suede. Well, 2 pieces of suede, I guess. Next pair up for comparison is the Nigel Sylvester Bike Air, and I just like to kind of show the difference between the new and the old style. So again, there's 7 lace holes on the old style low OG, whereas the new one has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8, just like the original lows when they first came out. But the midsole is the same shape on the new 2025 look. But if you look at the swoosh size, you can see that the swoosh size is a little bit bigger. This one's a better representation on this side because it's actual swoosh that's on there. So yeah, again, I'm guessing that because this is copied after the original Voodoo design, so it's just basically using the old shape that the original one had used. Much easier to just implement this colorway on this original design than to redesign the whole shoe with the 2025 shape. Next pair up, we have the K54. I like to make this comparison because it's also a mix of suede and canvas, except it's the other way around. Like the toe cap itself is suede and then the toe box is canvas, whereas the Voodoo is the other way around. But it's a lot harder on the K54. The canvas, they use a much softer canvas here. It's actually really nice. I've always thought of canvas being a hard material, but whatever they used here, it's much nicer here. And then of course, let's use a new shape with the 8 lace holes versus again the 7 lace holes. And you can see the difference in swoosh size. This is actually a clear representation of the swoosh size. I know there are different shoe sizes, but yeah, the new look is a much nicer, bigger swoosh, which I really like. Another pair of canvas shoes I have is the Nina Chanel 3s. And again, this is one of my most uncomfortable pair of shoes that I own. Look how soft the canvas is. And look at that. The toe box and toe cap. Like, it's just really, really hard canvas on the Nina Chanel. Of course, on the sides here, it's a little bit harder. But like, look, like nothing moves on this shoe. I'm just bending it around. Like, look at that. I'm just kind of bending it. Like, it just does not move, and it just makes for a very uncomfortable shoe. Of course, the back is going to be a little bit harder for support, but even here, everywhere is a lot softer. The toe cap itself is very soft, but the where the lace holes go in that part of the upper is a little bit harder for support. So, really great design on the Voodoo Alternate, and very good use of different types of canvas to just give it a comfortable look. So, all right, let's take a look at some studio shots of this pair. Much more vibrant under studio lights, and like here's some a really good look at those rope laces. It really fits this shoe. Like, again, Halloween is just 2 days away, and this is just such a great Halloween shoe, and the rope laces really adds to the feel of the design. There's the upside down Air Jordan logo. Really wish again that it was glow in the dark. I think that's the only piece that I would change on this pair. All right, there's a close-up look at that canvas. And the eye for a button on the little Voodoo doll there. So you can see 2 different colors. Yeah, there's so many details. There's a good look at the swoosh. So many details on the shoe. Like, you just can't believe this is like an incredible looking shoe. Yeah, no wonder it's just selling out like so quickly today. Yeah, the outsole is the only thing that's plain, but no one's going to see that anyways, right? Some closer look at those scratch marks and a different color of canvas. So yeah, really awesome looking shoe. I don't know how those rope laces are going to be beat by the flat laces, but well, let's skip to the next section, the lace swaps. As usual, we'll start off with what it comes laced with, the rope laces. Again, New Orleans theme, and those rope is just very much a very perfect fit. I can't see how I can like the other ones, but maybe I'll be a little bit surprised, so we'll take a look. Yeah, this is just almost perfect. So let's start with the gray. Flat laces, gray, and as I guessed it just doesn't look right. It like, I wouldn't say it doesn't look right. I would just say that the rope laces give it so much more character. Flat laces doesn't do it, and the flat laces are lightly waxed, hold shape a little bit better, and a little bit reflective. Here are the other 2 lace colors. Okay, all right. This green is not bad. All right, so flat laces, but this green is a really great alternate color. The black, nope, it just kind of blends in, very much like the gray. It blends in, loses a bit of the character. But let's take a closer look here at the green. Yep, it's and again, the laces are all wax, so it's a nice waxy feeling. That vapor green lace. There's not enough vapor green detail. It's only really on the swoosh, on the back heel, on the Air Jordan, on the back heel, and yeah, it really adds to it. I like it. So if I were to go alternate laces, that would be the only color I would go with, this green here. All right, let's take a look at some studio shots of the lace swaps. Again, that rope is just really designed. Rope laces is the way to go, especially like the way the the texture and everything of the laces just make it really, really pop with this design. Flat laces, it's just it's flat. You know, it just makes the shoe look a little less interesting. But the green, it's flat, doesn't have the texture, but it really makes the shoe pop even a little more. So actually, if I had to choose between the two, it's either the rope laces that comes with, or the green. So let's lift it up here, and there you go. Good look at it. What's missing in the rope texture is that color. That you have good amounts of vapor green all around the shoe, from the Nike Air, the mini swoosh up at the toe, the Air Jordan in the heel. I'll show that here again. And yeah, this I think if I were to go flat laces, this vapor green is the only one I would go with. All right, great shoe, great review, great midweek review. Yeah, we'll see what the next shop is, and we'll see you guys next time. Thank you for supporting our channel.